Look down at your feet right now. 6,000 kilometers straight down, there is a ball of solid iron the size of the moon. It is hotter than the surface of the sun, and the pressure is 3.5 million times greater than what you feel right now. It is sitting inside our planet while you watch this video. We have walked on the moon. We have high-definition rovers driving across Mars. We have photographed black holes. Space feels like the ultimate frontier, but space is actually the easy part. Space is mostly empty. There is zero resistance. The deepest hole we have ever dug into our own planet? 12 kilometers. Going up is easy. Going down? We cannot even scratch the skin of our own world. Humanity lives on an impossibly thin crust of dead rock floating on top of a highly pressurized, volatile planetary engine. So what is stopping us from punching through? And why is the year 2026 the moment that finally changes? I am General Yetdot, and today we are asking, why can't we dig to the center of the Earth? Yet. Forget every textbook diagram you have ever seen. You know the picture. The Earth cut in half, 4 neat layers, color-coded like a birthday cake. That picture is lying to you. It makes the Earth look small, solid, and manageable. Here is the truth. Imagine the Earth is an apple. The part we live on, the crust, is the apple's skin. Actually, it is thinner than the skin. Every mountain, every ocean, every human who has ever lived exists on a microscopic layer of dust. Dig through that, and you hit the mantle. Almost 3,000 kilometers of screaming hot rock. And here is the terrifying detail they skip in school. It is not a solid. But it is not a liquid either. The immense heat and crushing weight make the solid rock behave like plastic. It flows and creeps over millions of years like impossibly thick radioactive honey. Keep going and you hit the outer core. This is a swirling, turbulent ocean of superheated liquid iron and nickel, roughly the size of Mars. And at the absolute center, the inner core. A solid iron ball, hotter than a star, crushed into a solid state purely by the incomprehensible weight of the entire planet pushing down on it. So when someone says, "Let's dig to the center," they are really saying, let's drill through flowing radioactive rock, swim through liquid metal, and punch our way into an iron sun. Our deepest hole has gone 0.2% of the way. Let that sink in. Humans are stubborn. We tried anyway. Twice. Famously. Story 1. America, 1961. A project called Mohole. The idea was pure brute force genius. The Earth's crust is much thinner under the ocean than under the continents. So, instead of drilling through mountains, engineers parked a ship in the deep ocean and drilled through the seabed to punch straight toward the mantle. They got 183 meters in. Not kilometers, meters. Less than 2 football fields. The ocean currents and the sheer mechanical difficulty made it impossibly expensive. In 1966, Congress pulled the plug. Project dead. Story 2. The Soviets. 1970. Cold War pride on the line. The Americans failed, so the Soviets said, "Watch us." They started drilling a hole in a freezing corner of Russia called the Kola Peninsula, and they just kept going. 12,262 meters, roughly 7.6 miles straight down. That hole, the Kola Superdeep Borehole, is still the deepest artificial point on Earth today. Nobody has ever gone deeper. So why did they stop? They expected the rock at that depth to be solid, predictable granite at around 100 degrees Celsius. When they got there, the sensors fed back a completely different reality. It was 180 degrees. At that temperature and pressure, physical reality begins to break down. The rock went soft. It started acting like Play-Doh. The heat chewed up and warped their steel drill bits. The walls of the hole began squeezing inward, like toothpaste closing a tube, the planet literally trying to heal the physical wound they were making. At one point, 5 kilometers of their drill pipes snapped off and got stuck down there forever. They fought this hellscape for 22 years. Then the Soviet Union collapsed, the money dried up, and in 2005, they welded a massive metal cap over the hole and walked away. The Kola hole is still there today, abandoned, a monument to a terrifying absolute. Old drilling is a boxing match, metal versus planet, and the planet always wins. Why does going deep break absolutely everything? There are 3 enemies waiting in the dark. Enemy 1, heat. Every kilometer you go down, it gets about 25 degrees hotter. Eventually, your steel and diamond equipment literally melts. Enemy 2, pressure. All the rock above your drill pushes down on it. The deeper you go, the heavier that crushing pile gets. Enemy 3, the squeeze. This one is sneaky. At those extreme depths, the highly pressurized, hot rock around your hole flows inward, actively trying to crush the space you just opened. It is like poking a straw into thick honey and pulling it out. The honey instantly fills the gap. Every extra kilometer makes all 3 enemies exponentially worse. You cannot muscle through this with better steel. You need completely alien ideas. And in 2026, we finally have them. Idea 1. Stop drilling, start vaporizing. A Slovakian company called GA Drilling asked a wild question. What if the drill never actually touched the rock? They built a plasma drill. Instead of a metal cutting tip, it shoots a jet of superheated plasma gas at 6,000 degrees, as hot as the surface of the sun. The plasma blasts the rock apart, cracking it instantly like hot water shatters a cold glass. High-pressure water flushes the debris back up. Nothing physically touches the rock, so nothing wears out. Idea 2. A giant planetary microwave. Tech researchers out of MIT started a company called Quaise Energy. They built a machine called a gyrotron, originally designed for nuclear fusion. It fires continuous, high-power millimeter electromagnetic waves, a giant focused microwave beam. When this beam hits rock, the rock does not just crack or melt, it vaporizes. It turns into glowing plasma ash. Last year, they tested this for real. They vaporized a hole deep through solid granite using just an energy beam, no drill bit at all. The beam acts like a cosmic laser cutting straight down into the planetary engine, completely unaffected by the heat of the deep crust. But how do you stop the hole from closing behind you? Engineers pump specially designed heavy fluid down the borehole. This fluid pushes outward against the rock walls. Picture squeezing a balloon in your fist. The balloon pushes back. As long as it pushes as hard as you squeeze, it does not pop. That is exactly what this fluid does. It forces the hole to stay open from the inside. Here is the massive twist to all of this. Nobody is actually trying to reach the center of the Earth. Why would you? It is a solid iron ball. There is no oil, there is no gold, there is no secret dinosaur civilization. It is just screaming hot metal. The real goal is much shallower, 10 to 20 kilometers down. Because at that specific depth, the intense heat and crushing pressure create a monstrous state of matter. When water hits this zone, it becomes supercritical water, hyperreactive fluid that holds an incomprehensible amount of thermal energy. If we can successfully drop a pipe down into a supercritical water zone and pump that energy back up, the hot water makes steam. The steam spins a turbine. The turbine makes electricity. We are talking about free, zero-carbon, endless energy from heat that is already trapped directly beneath us. No fuel, no pollution, no waiting for the sun to shine or the wind to blow. One single deep borehole could power an entire major city for millions of years. And with plasma and microwave drilling, you could drill one almost anywhere, not just in Iceland, not just in California, your city, your village. Total energy independence. That is the real prize. Not reaching the center, just digging deep enough to plug humanity directly into the furnace we are already sitting on. So, can we dig to the center of the Earth? No. The physics are absolutely impossible, and we probably never will. If you like this dive into hacking nature, I already made a video on why we cannot delete mosquitoes yet. They are the deadliest animals on Earth. We have the genetic code to wipe them out, and we are too terrified to use it. Go watch that next. It is already up on the channel. And hit subscribe to Yet. Every week, one big mystery, one clear answer. See you in the next one.